Same password is same 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Active or no? Check internet. Try now. Is it working? Working, right? Okay. So what is the password? Same 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Okay. So where were we? I mean, we have finished this second chapter, right? So we are going to do this. I mean, interview questions will repeat, right? Okay. So tell me. I mean, first question is why there is no multiple inheritance in Java? There are two things. Okay. So what is the first thing? Java creator, they wanted to make this language very simple language. Okay, so they don't want to have messed up basically, na? So they don't want to make it complex. So that's why they have removed this multiple inheritance. What are the things they have removed? They have removed operator overloading also. There is no operator overloading in Java, right? Okay. So and what is the second problem? Deadly diamond of death problem. Okay. So that is also called. I mean, there is some you are not sure. I mean, that is called problem of uncertainty basically. Okay. So these are the two reasons why I mean people have removed this multiple inheritance. Okay. Does Java supports multi-level inheritance? Yes, it is supported. Okay. So only this multiple inheritance is not supported. And what is single inheritance? Single means we every do, right? Something like dog extends animal. So that is single inheritance. If we'll try to extend two classes, that would be called as a multiple inheritance, which is not possible in Java. C++, yes, it is possible. Okay. Yeah. Now, what is the second one? Why Java is called object-oriented programming language? First one is because Java deals with object all the time. So here we communicate. I mean, using objects only. Okay. And what is the second point? Why Java is called object-oriented programming language? Because it follows some set of rules. What are those rules? Class, object. Okay, then polymorphism, inheritance, encapsulation, and abstraction. So those are the rules, or you can say concept, which is followed by Java. That's why Java is called object-oriented programming language. Okay. Then third question is, I mean, what is encapsulation? Yeah. So basically, I mean putting boundary over your variable is called encapsulation. Okay. So it is also, I mean, we have seen what we have seen, doing changes in your code without breaking the rule of others is called encapsulation. Okay. And how to achieve encapsulation? So you have to make your instance of is your easier. Okay. So how to achieve? I mean, we'll make our variable private or protected, and we use getters and setters to access those variables. Okay. So this is the way how we achieve encapsulation. Yeah. Then we have seen what is the difference between EJ and HJ. EJ is related to inheritance or implements or interface, and HJ is related to uses, or what is that called? That is called instance variables basically. Okay. So we have already seen the example, something like dog extends animal, and dog has a owner. So dog is a animal and dog has a owner. Okay, so owner means owner is one of the variable which is present inside your dog. Okay, so that is the one which you have already seen. Yeah, now is a relationship can be checked using instance of, but has a we cannot check using instance of. Okay, so this is one of the difference, I mean, between is a and has a. And same, I mean, if somebody will ask what is the difference between inheritance and composition, it would be same, exactly same. Okay. Yeah, now which is preferred, tell me, inheritance or composition? Composition. Okay, so Heze is preferred over Eze. Okay, why? Because we have already seen, I mean, Heze will use less memory than your Eze. Okay, and we have already seen, I mean, in Eze, even if you don't need those variables, those will be by default coming through inheritance, right? So which is not good, I mean, so that's why Heze is always preferred over Eze. Yeah, now what is polymorphism? Polymorphism means many forms. Okay, so something like, I mean, what are the kinds of polymorphism? Compile time, runtime. Compile time is your overloading, and runtime is your overriding. Okay, yeah, difference between overloading and overriding. So overloading, what will happen? We must change the parameter list. Overriding, we must not change the parameter list. Okay, in overriding, what will happen? Can I change the return type? Overriding, we can change the return type, but covariant. It should be covariant. Something like animal, then dog you can return. Okay, and in overloading, no, I mean, you can do anything, no problem. I mean, so no restriction at all. Okay, so overriding will, whenever overridden method must have less restrictive access modifier than your original method. Okay, but overloading, no restriction. Okay, then what is the third rule which we have seen? Return type, return covariant, which we have already seen, right? Okay, so and anything which we have seen? Exceptions, right? Okay, so subclass should not throw superclass exception. Okay, that's what is the rule which we have already seen. Okay, so any other thing which we have seen? That's all, I think, 4 or 5. Correct. So overloading is compile time polymorphism and overriding is runtime polymorphism. How we have seen? I mean, when I was writing one code, what was happening? Automatically, whenever I am doing overriding, the code was taking from right hand side. I mean, something like animal equal to new. I mean, it will do animal. Okay, and what will do? I mean, you want to create one dog. Then what to do? Animal equal to new dog. Then if I am doing overriding, which would be preferred, dog or animal? Overriding will prefer dog. Dog means right hand side. If it is overloading, then left hand side. Okay, so that is the thing. How many ways to create an object out of class in Java? Any idea? There are 5 ways. Okay, so what are those? New operator, yeah. Then class.forName, yeah. Then yeah. Then object declaration. Okay, so this one, just take it as an assignment. Okay, for today. So we will discuss tomorrow in depth. Okay, so what is the question? Question is very simple. How many ways we can create object in Java? How many ways we can create object in Java? Okay, so which is the simplest one? I mean, the one which you have already seen. Which is the one? I mean, new operator. Okay, which we have already seen. I mean, this we do every day in every class, right? Yeah. So what are the other ways are there? Just try to find it. I mean, there are 4 or 5 ways to do that. Okay, 3, 4. I mean, I think one more we are having. Okay, 5. So just try to get all the other 4. Okay, we'll discuss tomorrow. Okay, so how many ways to create object in Java? Hey, come. Hey, give them some space, na? They are new students, and they will be joining from tomorrow. What happened? 3. Okay, so I mean you just go through the other way to create the object. Okay, then we will discuss it tomorrow class. Today we were supposed to start new one, right? Which is the one? Exception handling. Are you going through those YouTube videos? You are able to see it, right? Check it, right? So how will you go? Just go to YouTube. Okay, something like YouTube. Okay. So now I mean we are looking for core Java, right? So what you pass, you just pass core Java, okay. And you just, because this is new one, right? So it will not come, many will come. So you can choose this one. See, are able to see this 23 videos. Just click on this view playlist, automatically it will come. Okay, and the one which you are doing, I mean you can. So yesterday, last class, what we had done? We had done, I think, which one? This one, overloading, right? So you just open this overloading. Okay. So volume, I mean I have made it less. Okay. So you can see all those videos basically. Yeah? So just you can download, I mean whatever things are there, or else I mean you can directly, if you are having internet at your PC, you can directly view those. Okay.
Got it, right? So your code will not compile. It will write the code.
Okay. So let's start this. I mean new chapter called exception. So for exception, I mean you can follow this Java T point. Okay. So open this link Java T point and go to this core Java. Okay, core Java. Here you will have one of those options called exception. So I mean just follow this. I mean we will be doing the same thing on the today in the class. So let me create one new project here. Okay, so before starting, I mean let's discuss. Okay. So, what is an exception? Any idea? What? Runtime error. Okay. Okay. Any other thing? During execution of the program. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Any other thing? Abnormal condition. Okay. So yeah, try to understand. I mean, let's try to understand. First, let's go to the dictionary meaning of this word. Okay. So what is an exception? I mean, in real time, when you use exception word? Error. Okay. Okay. But there are two things. I mean, in Java, one is called error, another is called exception. Okay. So very simple. I mean, let's go anywhere. So suppose, I mean, let's try to talk about cricket only. So we usually, I mean, in India we follow cricket too much, right? So whenever we see, I mean, Sachin Tendulkar, so what we say? He is exception. Got it, right? So what is exception? Exception means that is not normal. I mean, other people are normal, but Sachin is exception. That's what we call. Okay. So similar to this, I mean, go anywhere. I mean, suppose suppose some people are not behaving normally, I mean they have gone mad, their mind is not working, then what you say? This is not normal, this is abnormal scenario. Okay, so something like if you go in this road, okay, and you just do then something like you will have this vroom, vroom you will do in this road, then what they will tell? He gone mad, right? So that is exception basically. Got it, right? So anything in code which is not normal is called exception basically. Okay, so typically, I mean, this is the bookish definition of your exception. So what is the definition of exception? I mean, we can say abnormal condition, okay, which will disrupt the normal flow of execution. This is the bookish definition of your exception. So what is exception? The abnormal condition which will disrupt the normal flow of execution. Okay, so we'll have one example which will help us out to understand. I mean what is exception is all about. Okay, so abnormal condition which will disrupt the normal flow of execution. So first we will do this normal flow of execution, and then we'll do abnormal flow of execution basically. Okay, so let's try to create one project. Just try to understand. I mean, I'll give one example, then you will be able to understand this very easily. So will you create one project? What is the project name? Exception example. Okay, let's try to have one package called com.test. Okay, and any language, each and every language will have its entry point, right? So in C, what is the entry point? Int main, or void main. In Java, what is the entry point? Public static void main. Okay, so let's try to create one project, class which will have it. So we'll make it main class. So what is the class name? Main class. This is the entry point of our code. Okay, and I'll tick here, then what will happen? Automatically my main will be created. So I'll finish it. So this is our main. Okay, and in Java, I mean in C, if you want to print something in the console, what is the statement you use? Printf. Okay, similar in Java, in C++, what you use? Cout. Okay, in Java what we write? System.out.println. Okay, so in Eclipse what you do? SYSO control space, automatically it will do this for you, right? So something like here, you can write something like entry point. Okay, so what is the shortcut to run this code? Control F11. Okay, so what to do? Control F11, which will run this code. So what should be the in the console? Entry point is over. So this is the output of this particular code basically. Okay, yeah. Now let's try to understand. What is exception basically? Okay, so let's try to have a very simple scenario. We'll start. Writing for 2 person. Okay, so anyone. New student. Anyone tell your name? Anyone's name. Anybody tell your name? You tell your name. What was your name? Hiran, right? What? He? Okay. Hiral. Okay. So Hiral is starting. So Hiral starting. Okay. So Hiral is writing the code here. She started writing the code from line number 8. Okay. So yeah. Now in between, she has written a lot of codes here. Some sort of logic she has written basically. Okay, and starting, and here what we do, we will make it ending. Ending means she is finishing basically. So Hiral is writing the code from line number 7 to 11. Okay, and any one more name we need. Okay, so give me any other name. Any other name? Some other name. Anyone? Tell me your name. P new students, no? Then you can remember the names. Otherwise, we know others' name. Okay, P R. Okay, Purvi. Okay, so Purvi is starting and Purvi ending. Okay, for time being 2 only. Then other example we will take other 2. Okay, so then we can remember the names. Otherwise, we'll forget. Okay, so yeah. So now, what should be the output of this code? Tell me. What should be the output? Hiral started, Hiral ending, Purvi starting, Purvi ending. So this is the normal flow. I mean there is no problem. If there is no problem, what should be the output? Hiral starting, Hiral ending, Purvi starting, Purvi ending. Okay. So we'll run this code. Then what is the output writing? Yeah, as per expectation, right? So this is the normal flow basically. So normal flow. I mean the one which you are having, normal flow. Normal flow will be, this should be the sequential manner. What is sequential? Sequential means one by one, line by line. Okay, until and unless it is not multi-threaded. Okay, so when we will see this multi-threading implementation, that time sequential will not matter. I mean it can be parallelly executed. Okay, so that is different scenario only. That is different forum we will study later point of time. Okay, so normally what happens? The line of execution will be sequentially, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All the lines will be executed, right? This is the normal flow. Okay. Now let's try to understand. We'll do some code which will create problem here. Okay. So let's try to do one very simple example. Suppose I'll create one of those string. Okay. So string equal to test. Okay, so what we have written, what is the value of string? Test. Okay, and after that what we do, we will do some sort of, okay, so what we do here is string, okay, dot, we are having one of the method called length. What this length method will do, length will give you the length of your string. Okay, so what is the length of string? 4. It is pretty simple, right? TEST means 4 is your length. Okay. So now tell me what should be the output in this case. Hiral starting, then some arrow will come. You can say something like string length. I'm just printing some sort of string over there. Okay. So what will come? String length, then 4, then Hiral ending, and then Purvi. So Purvi is writing code from here, Hiral is writing code from here. Okay. So control F11, what should be the output? Hiral starting, okay, Hiral length 4, then Purvi starting, Purvi ending. This is normal flow basically. Okay. So let's try to change a bit in our code, the one which you are writing. Okay. Then what will happen? It will become abnormal. Okay. So let's try to have very simple scenario. What I'll do, I'll make this value as null. Got it, right? Very small change which we have done. Okay, so earlier we are having string equal to test. Now what we have done? String equal to null. Okay, so yeah, now tell me what should be the output. Some exceptions will be thrown. Okay, so try to understand. Let's try to run it. So Hiral starting will come. Yes, there is no problem. Okay, let's try to run this code. Okay, so see what is happening. Hiral starting, then Hiral is not ending. Because of Hiral, what happened? Purvi code is not running. Got it, right? So what is this? This is called abnormal scenario. Got it, right? So because of Hiral code, what was happening? Purvi code is not able to execute, basically. So this is called abnormal scenario. Okay. So first let's try to talk about this exception. So this is one of the exceptions. Now I'll just give you the hierarchy of the exception. Then we'll talk about all the exceptions. Okay. So hierarchy is very simple. On the top we are having which class? Object. Object is the supermost class, so it will always be there. Okay. Below that we are having one of the class, which is the one, tell me, throwable. So throwable is subclass of object. Okay. So throwable object is superclass of throwable. Okay. Now below that we are having Error is your class basically. Okay, and what is the other class we are having? Exception, the one which we are studying now. Okay, now exception can be divided into two parts. One is called compile time, another is called runtime. Okay, so compile time exception, okay, another one is your runtime. This is the overall diagram of your exception. Okay, now we can categorize exceptions into other categories also. Okay, those are called checked and another is called unchecked. We will discuss in depth what is this all about. Okay, so what is checked? Checks are nothing but those are all compile time. All the compile time exceptions are called checked exceptions. Okay, and what is unchecked? Unchecked will contain runtime plus this error will also come basically. Got it, right? So there are two ways to categorize whatever throwables are there. Okay, so one compile time, runtime. Okay, and what is the another way? Checked exceptions and another unchecked. What is unchecked? Unchecked is nothing but runtime exceptions plus error. What is error? We'll see. Don't worry about that. So this is the overall picture of your exception hierarchy. Okay. Sometimes in interview they'll ask please draw exception hierarchy. Then you have to draw like this. So you will start from object, throwable, error, exception, compile time, runtime. Okay. So wherever we'll go. Let's start to Google. Let's Google it. If I'll Google here, okay. Go exception hierarchy in Java. Okay, go to image, see wherever let's open it. Availability same diagram. Okay, so wherever we'll go now, they'll ask this question, very typical question. So you have to understand this diagram basically. Topmost is your object, throwable, error, exception, and runtime. This you will see. While going through in the class, we will come to know. What are those all about basically. Okay. So yeah, now one of the exceptions which we have seen. Okay. So what is the one? Now little bit earlier. What is the exception? Null pointer exception. What is the exception? Null pointer exception. So let's try to discuss about this null pointer exception. This is very famous in software industry. We call it as a NPE. NP means null pointer exception. So anybody in shortcut they are telling I am getting NPE, please help me. So what does that mean? He is getting null pointer exception. Okay. So first tell me, this null pointer exception is a compile time or runtime exception? Compile time or runtime? Runtime. Why? You are right. Yeah, we are able to find it. Okay. So try to understand. Before running the code, are you able to get the problem? No. When I am running the code, compilation is success. There is no problem. If there will be some problem in compilation, something I try to understand this. If I'll do this, see, there is some compilation problem. Okay, this is syntactical error. This is syntax error. So this is different. Okay. Now we are talking about exceptions. So when I am making it null, am I able to get any sort of problem here? No. We don't have any problem now. Okay. So when we are getting the problem? When I am running the code. Okay, so what is this? This is runtime or compile time? This is runtime. Okay, so why? Because when I am running the code, that time I am finding it. Before running, I don't know. I was unaware of this problem basically. Okay, so that's why what is this? This is, tell me, this is your runtime exception. Okay, so if somebody asks what is null pointer exception, it is a runtime exception basically. Runtime exception. Okay, yeah. Now let's try to understand in which case it will come. Okay, so try to understand here. what you are doing, Hiral starting, okay, Hiral is writing the code where string is null. What does null means? What does null means? Null means nothing. Okay, so null means nothing. Okay, null means nothing. Okay, and after that what she is doing, string dot length. So what is the problem here? She is trying to get the length of nothing. Got it, right? So same example which I told. If we'll go here in the road, okay, you don't have bike, but you're doing brrr, brrr, then what happens? That is abnormal, right? So similarly here also what is happening? String, there is nothing, but what you are doing, you are trying to do some operation. Got it, right? Then what is this? This is called null pointer exception. Means you are trying to work with null basically. You know? So you cannot do any operation on null because you cannot do anything in nothing, right? Okay. So that's why whenever you will try to do something in nothing, it will throw what is the exception? Null pointer exception basically. Okay. So this is nothing but here. So when null pointer exception will try to come, when we try to, okay, do the operation on null. Okay, whenever you try to do the operation on null, you will get this problem. What is the one? Null pointer exception. Okay, so this is the one. Now be very careful. Be very careful here. Be very careful. This null is different from this null. Okay, this null means nothing. Okay, and what does this null means? This is a string as a null. Got it, right? So what I mean to say is, if I'll use this one over here, so tell me, will I get null pointer exception? No. So it should give me, what is the length? It should give me 4. Because the length is 4, right? So let's try to see the output. There is no problem. But if I'll try to do this, then what should happen? It should give me null pointer exception. Okay, so because you are trying to do something in nothing, which should not do. Okay, so yeah, this is the thing which you have to remember. Okay, yeah, now try to understand, now how to handle exceptions. Okay, so how to handle exceptions. Okay, so as I told, if somebody is mad or maybe his mind is not working, then where we will take him to? Some mental asylum, right? Okay, where some treatment will be going on. Okay, so similarly here also in our code, if we'll get some exceptions, then we have to put it somewhere in mental asylum. Okay, so what is this mental asylum here in your Java? We are having try catch block. What is this called? That is called try catch. Okay, so try and catch. Okay, and here we will pass the exception. This is your so this is the sequence how we do try catch. Okay, so when you should write this try catch, wherever you are suspecting that there is some problem, then what to do? You should do try catch. Very simple. Okay, so where you are suspecting some problem is there, here you are thinking, then what you should write the code something like this: try control space, automatically your catch will come. Okay, and you are suspecting there is some problem, then what you do? You just put this code inside try. We'll put this code inside try. Okay, and here let's try to have some, let's try to have something. Okay, so some exception. Got it, right? So now tell me what should be the output. What sequentially, we'll go from line number 7. So what will happen? Serial starting, then what will come? Some exception, or it will come, or so we will go line by line. This one will execute, this one will come. Okay, then it will come null. Here what will throw? It will throw null pointer exception. As soon as it will throw null pointer exceptions, what will happen? Your catch will catch it. Okay, whenever there is some problem, it will catch it. Okay, so as soon as it will catch it, where it will go? It will go to some exception. Then what will come? Serial ending, Purvi starting, Purvi ending. Got it, right? So now why Purvi code is running? Because Serial has handled that exception. If Serial will not handle this exception, Purvi code is not working, right? Okay, so let's start to run this code now. What is happening? So see, this is the one. Okay, so Serial starting, some exception, Serial ending. Now Purvi code is working. But in earlier case, what was happening? Because of abnormal termination, your below code was not working. Because of Serial code, Purvi code was creating some problem. Got it, right? So that's what we discussed here. What we discussed about exception, the abnormal condition which will disrupt the normal flow of execution. Normal flow means Serial starting, Serial ending, Purvi starting, Purvi ending. What is abnormal scenario? If Serial is creating problem, block. It got abnormality terminated basically. Okay, so we usually use this word. Very very frequently. Okay, so abrupt. Okay, abrupt termination. Okay, so this sort of scenario, what is that called? That is called abrupt termination. Abrupt termination means suddenly what happened we don't know. My code is not working basically. Okay, so whenever abrupt termination will be done, okay, so one of those very famous is called FC. What is FC? Force close. It happens. Whenever your code will do this exception or abrupt termination, it will be force closed. Okay, so in your mobile, very famous. Suddenly you will get. Facebook is unfortunately stopped. You get this, right? So that is because of this only. Okay, that is only because of this your abrupt termination basically. Okay, so another one is your ANR, which we'll see going through. While going through, ANR means application not responding. Okay, what application not responding is? Sometimes in your mobile it will open, your Facebook is not responding. Do you want to close or continue? There are two options, right? So those are called ANR. Okay, so ANR means application not responding. So whenever you are doing ANR, there will be two options. There are two options. One is to close your program, okay, or else what is the other option? Wait. You can wait for some time, maybe 5 minutes. Okay, and in force close there is no other option. You must have to close your application. So force close only one option, close it. ANR there are two options, wait or close. Okay, so when force close will come, typically because of this abrupt termination only your force close will come. Because of this only force close will come basically. Okay, so now how will you avoid this force close? You have to use try catch, the one which you have studied now, right? So little bit earlier, try catch is the one which you have studied. Okay, so this is one of those very very famous the way how we do try catch. Okay, yeah, now let's try to go and try to understand some different bit of thing. Okay, okay, suppose tell me we are having 1 2 3. So what is the data type we should use for this? Integer, right? So integer. Okay, now if I'll give you something like 1 2 3, then what is the data type you should use? String, because I am in double quote, right? So double quote will always be your string. Okay, so this is not an integer basically, this is a string. Okay. Now suppose I want to convert string into integer. Got it, right? We are doing some coding, and in parameter what you are doing, we are passing integer, but the data somebody is giving you, that is string. So now you cannot pass string. Why? Because string will not be accepted, right? Because your parameter is asking for integer. So you have to convert this string into integer. Okay. So how to convert string into integer? Any idea? Parseint. Okay. So typically we use this sort of thing. Okay. Try to understand. Okay. So suppose you want to convert it int. Suppose test is your integer. Okay. And what is the string? String is your string. So what we write here? Integer dot parse int. Okay, and what we pass here 1 2 3, I mean whatever the numbers are there. Okay, so what is the method name? Parse int. Similarly, if you want to convert it to some other data type, maybe long or double, then how to do? Tell me. Similar thing only. I mean here you will pass. So here you will pass that data type. Okay, then you write parse. Then you have to write that data type. Okay, and you have to pass this string here. Here what you have to pass? You have to pass the string. So this is the format which we use basically. Okay, so now suppose if I want to convert to double, tell me what should be our format? What's the format? Double dot parse double. Okay, and you will pass that string. I mean the string which is there basically. Okay. Now suppose if I want to convert it into float, then how to do? Float dot parse float. Parse float, you pass the string. Okay. Be very careful here. We are using capital D. It is not the small d. Okay. Capital D means it is a wrapper class. I mean the one which you have already seen. Those are one of the data type in your Java basically. Okay. Similarly, I mean if you want to convert into, I mean you understood the format, right? The one which you will do. Okay. So yeah, now let's try to convert. I mean I will just comment this for some time. Okay. We will comment this code for some time. We'll just comment for some time. Okay. I will use string equal to, what is string? 1 2 3, the one which you are talking about. Okay, so it is a string. I want to convert it into integer. So how will convert? Int t. I am giving just name as int. Okay, I want to convert into integer. So what you do? Integer dot parse int. Okay, and what you pass? You pass string. Okay, and if I want to print in console, system out printing int. Int is the one which I am printing. So what should be the output? Tell me. Here starting, then this string will be converted into integer, and we are showing integer 1 2 3. Then here ending Purvi started Purvi ending. Okay, so yeah, so this is your normal output. Okay, so now let's try to change a bit. I mean the output which you are doing. Okay, suddenly what Hiral will do is, okay, so she will change its like this. What she has done? She has changed it to 1 2 3 a. So in earlier case it worked. Why? Because 1 2 3 was a integer. So from string it converted into integer. Now what happened? We are having 1 2 3 a. So is it an integer? It is not an integer, right? It is not an integer. So let's try to see what will happen basically. So again, you are trying to convert something which is not integer to integer. Can you do that? No. This is also one of the exceptions, right? Okay. So this is not a normal scenario, normal condition. Then what will happen? Let's try to run it. See what is happening. See, exception. Exception. So what is the exception? Number format exception. So we'll just try to understand this number format exception. So what is the exception? Number format exception. Again, tell me, it is a compile time or run time? Run time. When I am running, then only I am able to find this problem, right? So this is also a run time exception. And when it will be thrown, when your the so typically your hierarchy is like this. Okay, hierarchy I'll write. Okay, topmost is your runtime exception. Runtime exception is one of the class. Okay, below that you are having one of the exception called illegal argument exception. Okay, and below that you are having number format exception. So number format exception, superclass is your illegal argument exception. Who is the superclass of illegal? Runtime. Who is the runtime top? You are having exception. Exception. Then here is your error, which we have already discussed. And here what will that mean? Throwable, and which is in the top object. This is a typical diagram which is. Okay, so when this number format exceptions will be thrown, when the format of number is not correct. Okay, so I was passing 1, 2, 3 A, right? So that was the problem basically. Okay, yeah. Now if you want to handle it, how to do? You must use try catch block. Okay, so similar to the earlier case. What should we do? Try catch. Okay, and we will do this. Okay, and similar to your previous one, we will just try to print it. Now tell me what should be the output. Tell me. Here started, then 1, 2, 3 A. There is some problem. Then what will come? Some exception. Then here ending Purvi. So now Purvi will be able to work. In earlier case, Purvi will not be able to work. Why? Because of some exception basically. Okay. So let's try to run this code. Yeah, so some exception. Okay, so we understood two exceptions. What are those? Number format exception. What is the previous one? Null pointer exception. Okay, yeah. Now let's try to understand one more runtime exception. Okay, so tell me, 10 divided by 2. What is the output we will get? 5. Okay, 5. Very simple. Now suppose I'll do 10 divided by 0. What is the output? What is the output? I am trying to divide some number with 0. It is also an exception, right? Because usually, in college, what we do? It is an infinite. You don't know. It is a very big number. People will say basically. Okay. So in mathematical calculation, it is an exception basically. Okay, because you cannot define infinite, right? Okay, so basically try to understand what does division means. Division means you are dividing 10 into 2 parts, then it is giving you 5. Now what you are doing, you are dividing 10 into 0 parts. Can you divide 10 into 0 parts? No, right? So this is also an exception, right? So what does that mean? This is also an exception. This is an exception. Okay, so let's try to do this. In our code, very simple. We will try to do the same thing. The one which you are talking about. Okay, so suppose I will do system.out.println. Okay, I am printing some output. I will give the name called OP, maybe an output. And what output I am giving? 10 divided by 2. So what should the output tell me? 5. So here starting, output is 5. Here ending, Purvi starting, Purvi ending. Okay, so let's run this code as per the normal scenario. Okay, now it will become abnormal as soon as you will divide this 10 with 0. Got it, right? We'll try to understand. What is the exception it will be throwing basically. Okay, so let's try to run it. What is the exception it is throwing? It is throwing what exception? Arithmetic exception. Okay, so we understood the third exception. What is the exception called? Arithmetic exception. Arithmetic exception. Again, it is your runtime, because when you are compiling, your compile time we'll see in the next chapter basically. In this chapter we will just discuss about the runtime exceptions only. Runtime exception. When this arithmetic exception will come when the arithmetic calculation is having problem. Okay, something like for the example, divide by 0. You cannot divide any number with 0, so that is one of the exception, right? So what it is, this is called arithmetic exception. Okay, now again, I mean, because of serial code, what is happening, Purvi code is not working. So if she wants to do that, what you have to do, it is best practice what to do, you should do try catch. Okay, now what will do, she will put this code, because she is suspecting that there is some problem, she will put here. Okay, and if she wants to print some exception, she can print something like some exception. Now what will happen, tell me, what should be the output? Serial starting, then because of here some problem, so what will some exception, serial ending, Purvi starting, Purvi ending. So this is your typical, I mean, the one which we are discussing. Okay, so you understood, I mean, how to handle the exception, right? So how to handle the exception, we use try catch. One more is there called finally, so we'll see while going through. Okay, but before going, I mean, let's try to discuss one small thing related to the one which we are discussing here about this conversion of this. Okay, so let's try to understand. When I am running the code, what should be the output, tell me? Serial starting, then 1 to 3 as your integer, then it will not print some exception. Why? Because this is correct one. So we will run it. Okay, there is no problem. Okay, yeah, now try to understand. Okay, so parseInt is one of the method. One more method is there called value of. What is the one? Value of. Okay, and here also we can pass. Okay, now tell me what should be the output. What should be the output? Serial starting, then 1 to 3 will come. There will be no change in the output. Okay, so we will run this code. What is that? See, there is no change in the output. Got it, right? So you can use both the methods. What is the first one? parseInt, or what is the other one? Value of. Okay, so here also, instead of parse, what you can do, you can use one of the other method called dot value of. Okay, any one of those you can use. Okay, now Java people, I mean, why they have created two methods? I mean, one is your parse, another is value of. There might be some difference, right? Otherwise they will not create two methods for the same purpose basically. Okay, so there we must have some difference. Okay, so any idea what is the difference? So what I am asking, the question is very simple. Difference between parse, I mean, whatever the star we are having, okay, and value of. Okay, this is also sometimes you will get this question in interview. Okay, so any idea what is the difference? Any idea what is the difference? Any idea? Okay, so very simple, I mean, try to understand. Okay, so I'll go here. How to check the return type of a method? How to check? Just move your cursor, automatically it will tell you the return type basically. So if I'll move my cursor, so what is the return type of value of? What is the return type? See, integer. Okay, what is the return type? Integer is your return type. Okay, yeah, now I will just change it to maybe parseInt. Okay, now I'll move my cursor to this. What is the return type? Tell me. What is this? INT. Got it, right? So there is difference, right? Okay, so if you'll see here, I mean this one, value of is returning what? This is returning integer, okay, but your parse int is returning what? Tell me. Int. Got it, right? So internal implementation is exactly same. Where is the difference? Difference is in the return type basically, okay. So what we understood here is parse, I mean whatever things it will return primitive data type, okay. So what are those primitive data types? int, okay, or double means d small, okay, double, or if you are having float, f small, okay. But value of will return, what will return? It will return a wrapper class, or you can say wrapper data type, that is also fine, okay. What does wrapper data type means? Int means what is the one? Integer, okay. So integer, okay. Double means d capital, double, okay. Float means float. Here this will be small, this will be capital, okay. Long means, tell me, long, okay. And here also if it is long, then long. L is small, this is small, and here will be your capital. So this is the difference in parse and value of. Value of will return your wrapper, and your parse will return you the primitive value. Okay, so now I mean this is your conversion of string into integer. How to do the reverse way? I mean I want to convert integer into string, okay. So let's try to do this. I mean I'll just comment it, okay. So you are having integer equal to, suppose your value is maybe 1 2 3, sorry, this is your integer, right? So this is, so what is my requirement? I want to convert integer into string, the other way around, okay. So how will you do that? Okay, so we use, I mean there are multiple ways to do that. So we use one of those, I mean integer dot toString. What is the method name? toString. So toString will convert your integer data type to your whatever the data type. Okay, so what is the method name? toString basically, okay. So what so I mean this is your data type to string, so how will you convert it? We use this dot toString as the method by which we can convert, okay. Okay, we will finish here only. So tomorrow we'll further discuss about this exception in depth, okay. So I mean this hierarchy we will discuss. So tomorrow class, before coming tomorrow, just go through this. I mean this is the link which I am talking about, okay. Just go through this. I mean we have studied, I mean a bit of it today. We have discussed this, okay. If you remember this arithmetic exception we have discussed, right? This is divide by 0, okay. Then this is null pointer exception which we have done today, okay. Then number format exception, this ABC, okay. So we'll see, I mean other exceptions also one by one, okay. So just go through this link. I mean it would be easy if you'll study this before coming, then it would be easier for you to understand the classes, okay. So we'll finish.